Our competition breaks down into 6 major categories. You have large wirehouse firms, you have small regional firms, you have bank advisors, there is the insurance company advisor, and then there's the do-it-yourself channel. Last but not least are independent registered investment advisors. The large wire firms have pros and cons. They enjoy economies of scale. They tend to have committed advisors, in my opinion, and they have wide platforms for clients to choose investments from. They tend to be plagued with conflicts of interest in middle management, however, and sometimes that can lead to decisions that are based on profit margin and legal defense of the firm more so than the client's best interest. The other issue that I've seen is they have a very hard time making exceptions, which is understandable. In other words, if you have 15,000 brokers out there and they each have 200-300 clients, you can't afford to make an exception for an individual client, because if you did that, you could never manage the firm effectively. The other thing that has hurt them in recent years is they've taken a hit to their reputation due to the whole mortgage debacle. Secondly, smaller regional firms. Smaller regional firms tend to be less bureaucratic. They can be quite client-friendly, in my opinion, as long as they're small, and I think they have pretty committed advisors as well. Some of the drawbacks to smaller regional firms, they really tend to follow the lead of the larger firms. They may be delayed a couple years, but they're pretty much following the larger firm decisions. They have generally, to their credit, avoided the credit debacle because they didn't have an investment banking side of their business. One of the big issues with them, unfortunately, is that they can get bought out. One of the worst things that can happen as an advisor is if you leave a large wirehouse firm, go to a smaller regional firm, and then a month or two later, your firm gets bought out, you're right back working for a larger firm again, and your clients have been moved around a bunch without really much change. So that can be a problem with smaller regional firms. Next we get to bank advisors. Bank advisors are a bit hard to classify because you have some very large outfits like Wells Fargo who have their own dedicated brokerage division, and they have the same pros and cons that a lot of the large wirehouses do. And then other banks will actually have in-branch bank reps that are investment people. These reps tend to, I think, be a little bit less committed. That you can certainly find good advisors in this channel, but a lot of the sale for those reps is the bank tells them, come work for us, we will give you warm leads because we're going to send you our banking clients. And then it is the bank rep's job to sell them investments or annuities instead of another CD. So that can create some conflict of interest as well. Insurance reps, again, there are lots of very large insurance reputable companies that do a very good job. They tend to share a lot of the same pros and cons of the large wirehouses. One of the issues to watch out for with insurance reps is they tend to lead with insurance products. Now, protecting yourself against risk and accumulating wealth are both very important. And if you want one product that does both, then an insurance product can be a very good solution. We all offer them. However, with insurance reps, a lot of times they lead with insurance products, and sometimes it's as if they have a hammer and they're going to treat everybody as if they're a nail, as if their product is the only one you should choose. And again, if it's the right solution, it can be great. However, you have to be careful. The other thing that works against insurance reps, or can, is insurance products pay us all large upfront commissions. Now that's not inherently bad if it's the right product for you. However, it can tend to draw advisors that are less committed, because if you're just there to spend a couple years in the industry and get, make a lot of commissions and get out, you're not necessarily committed to the long-term health of your client. Do-it-yourself, switching to those outlets, they're plentiful and cheap, and if you have the aptitude, time, energy, and knowledge, you can certainly save some costs through these. I would caution investors, though, don't lose the forest for the trees. Your goal is to accumulate wealth, and the cost of your investments are only one small piece of that. There are the returns that you're going to get, there are tax costs, there are opportunity costs, there are a lot of things that go into choosing an investment, and cheap costs should not be your one and only thing that you're evaluating. The other problem, and you can see it in their commercials, they suggest that if a client is closer to their money, that's a good thing and you'll make better choices and be more involved. It may or may not. Actually, in real life, you can be too close to your money. Human nature, it's very tough for clients to battle against fear and greed. It's very easy to give in to those urges. And the biggest mistake that most clients make is their human nature makes them sell out when markets are down and buy more when markets are up. And that can cost them a lot more than any incremental investment cost. So just some things to be aware of there. If you are going to hire an advisor to help you, you deserve somebody that's going to be paying full-time attention to the markets, tax law, and financial planning. Last but not least, independent registered investment advisors. RIAs. We're an RIA. We are governed by the SEC, so we're not these rogue advisors that have gone out on their own trying to dodge something. We are small business owners. We have to both satisfy our clients' needs and run our own business, and that is completely independent of any corporate agenda, which is a good thing. We are only paid by fees. We're not allowed to earn commissions off any product, which is also a good thing because it makes us product agnostic. We only have to care about what's in the client's best interest in choosing the product that's right for them. We tend to take a holistic approach for clients, and we often work hand in hand with their accountants and their attorneys. Ironically, I hear clients say all the time that they take some solace in one of the big name firms. They feel safer with the big name firm. It's ironic because registered investment advisors have to meet a higher standard than any other broker or classification we've talked about. RIAs have a fiduciary standard, which means we have to do what's in our client's best interests at all times. None of the other channels we've talked about today have to meet that standard.